Jump to Steve with the second video, and this has to do with Abigale, the guardian angel. Let me go ahead and continue, and this is kind of similar to the other story that I told you, and yeah, let me just go through the story. There was a woman who came in here. She was about 23, 24 years old, and there was a failure. She went in for surgery. They came out and came through it pretty well, and the family was there, and they were very dedicated to her. They came to see her all the time, and I got pulled in. Wasn't right immediately, but I got pulled in later, and I got a call from the head nurse that they wanted me to, she wanted me to see this particular patient. So I was there, and I got kind of pulled into this. The family pulled me out of the room, and they said, she's changed. And I'm looking at it, well, what do you mean by change? And they're explaining to me, she's in the room there, and she's talking to somebody they cannot see. And they don't know what's going on. They're very concerned about, they love their daughter. They're just trying to make sure, she's doing okay. And I kind of, and what I came up with, and it does happen, people sometimes when they're under duress, if they're overwhelmed by what the circumstances they're in, the human mind kind of takes over and creates a distraction. A distraction that somebody can deal with, and then they deal with what really is going on, as time goes on. So let's give it some time. Let's give it a little bit of time. But the more I hear about it from the family, what the story is all about is that it's a guardian angel named Abigale. I looked up Abigale. It's kind of a unique name, and actually the name is back in the Old Testament, and it means goodwill. There's other meanings to it, but it really is. It also means joy, and so it's interesting the name Abigale, how that was used. But anyway, getting back to the patient. I start to the patient, and she was telling me about the guardian angel. Now, I had to kind of work all this out, and everybody, hospital setting, it's different. So you have to work with it in a little bit different way. So I work with the family, and I work with them, and eventually what happened, they got and I kind of got pulled out of this because they got a psychiatrist in there. So things got kind of out of hand. The family were just, really were dedicated to their daughter. They didn't know what was going on. And so what happened is, over a period of time, I would come recheck. And things were going on, and I was not pulled in at that point. But things went on, and what happened is, over, I think, about a couple weeks, she got discharged. And I kind of knew what happened, but what happened is that I got a phone call about a week later. The mother's calling me up. And she's saying it's still continuing. She's still she's in the house. She's talking to someone named Abigale, and she's telling everybody it's a guardian angel. Her guardian angel's there, and supposedly what she's telling me, the Abigale is, she's been with him. The way she explained it, she's been with him since she was born, and when she's there to help her get through something, and she had there were some emotional problems. Everybody, she was kind of bipolar. And I think what the guardian angel was doing, from what I was able to gather, Abigale was trying to help her out getting through this. The family, from what I understand further, is that the tone was different. It wasn't distraught. It was not. It was more of an understanding, and almost a kind of like a belief that it was out of their realm, whatever they encountered. But something happened, and she explained further what went on. And what went on is that there's a pattern here. And the pattern is, what happened is that the patient, she was sitting on a couch. I think her sister was next to her. The way the mother was describing it, she was in the chair opposite side. There was a couch there. And what happened is, sure enough, she's talking to Abigale. They had a conversation. And the way she was describing it, the way she had the conversation, seemed so real and authentic. She was responding like realistic stuff. Authentically responding. And so this went on for some period of time, but this time she's telling me a little more about it. And what she did, the daughter found a way for them to see Abigale. How, and this is where the pattern comes in. How she figured that out is, if they touch her hand, they will be able to see the guardian angel. And that's exactly what happened. So when I stand, her sister sitting next to her, and she touches her hand, and she's Abigale. So the daughter now realized this is real. And she looks to the mother, and the mother is there, and she's weird, and she comes to touch the hand, and now they see Abigail, very pretty, very very nice lady. The whole time, though, what was interesting is that Abigail didn't talk to the family members at all. Always kept focused on the patient. Just focused on that, and that was the whole interchange. But anyway, this went on time, and what she was telling me is that they got used to Abigail in the house. I mean, you have to think about it. This was so out of their realm, and here they are now, accepting her as kind of effective. Family friends were coming over, and they didn't know what to make of it. But the family was, they were getting adjusted to Abigail being in the house, the guardian angel. And the mother continues the story, and she tells me that on one afternoon, the Abigail tells their daughter that she has to leave. And there was some kind of discussion went on it, and Abigail had to leave. What Abigail did, from what I understand, gave her kind of a future glimpse of her future. And Abigail, from what I understand, after that, she really was doing a lot better. So the whole point of the guardian angel was trying to help her along, whatever was going on. But this is one of the rare cases. It's one of those things you just, it's just it. But I've heard things like this before. Things go on like this, and then the mother said, Abigail's gone, and the daughter is doing pretty good. There's no symptoms. She's carrying on with her life, and she seemed to be a lot better, a lot more emotionally better. So that's a story, everybody. And it's everything and anything is possible with God. I keep saying it over and over again, but it's true. Everything and anything is possible, and there's so many things that go on. Forces at play. Things, it's beyond, reality sometimes extends further out. It becomes, there's more, it encompasses more, and that's one of these cases here, where the reality, Abigail, in the house, it was okay. She had to leave, though. Her time was up. She had to go. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that, everybody, but I appreciate your time. I just want to tell you the story. It was just an interesting story. But anyway, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Until the next video. Thanks again for watching this video. Bye.